Tonight I'll read Chapter 13, Treasure. When they left through the main doors, Emily and Sam stayed in the shadows until they were sure that the Harrows were nowhere to be seen in the square outside. "If I were them I'd be well away by now too," said Sam. "Imagine being caught setting fire to the library by the librarian. How embarrassing!" He laughed. "They're horrible people," said Emily. "Thank Fry they still don't know who we are. I think if they did, they'd send the wardens around to our houses to kidnap us." They walked along the front of the library, looking up at the inscriptions carved along the top. "What is their problem anyway?" said Sam. "Don't we all want the same thing? To stop those monks from letting more of those things out to terrorise everyone?" "I don't know," admitted Emily, "but they seem to think that we know more about what's going on than we really do." "What more is there to know?" Emily shrugged. "That's what we need to find out." Sam pointed up at the end of the building. "Look, there it is, Cotman's mystery inscription. Maybe that will help." Emily sighed. "You'll have to translate," she said. "My runic was never very good." "Yes, Captain." Sam studied the text. "And?" "It's a bit cryptic." "That's why it's still a mystery. What does it say?" "Join the third circle, follow the star." "That's it?" "It is." Emily scratched her head. "Join the third circle, follow the star. So what does that mean?" "Dunno. That's why it's a mystery." "Ha ha. Something to do with a secret society, maybe? Perhaps when you join the third circle in their society, they tell you some secret knowledge about following a star somewhere. Or not a secret society, a religious order, like the monks." Emily nodded. "It has to be something to do with the Abbey. That'd explain why Cotman never managed to find out what it meant." "That would be the Abbey we just utterly failed to find any useful information about how to break into," noted Sam. Emily grimaced. "We still have one option." "Your dad," said Sam excitedly. "Didn't Mrs. Harrow say that he knows how to get in?" Emily shook her head. "No, she said he suspected there were underground tunnels leading to the Abbey, but we know that already, because we were in them last night." "And they lead directly to the gatekeeper," sighed Sam, "and unfortunately we still don't have any heavy weaponry." "Correct, so that leaves us with your friend." Sam frowned. "Cutthroat Susie. But you said—" "That was before. You've just given me an idea about how to get her to listen to us." "I did." Sam looked pleased, then confused. "Did I?" "Where do you think we might find her?" Sam thought for a moment. "Well, if you're leading a backwater crew and you're looking for crowds of unwary, distracted townsfolk to thieve from, I guess there's only one place to be on a Saturday." Emily grinned. "The floating market." "Exactly." They walked back to the jetty where they'd left the linnet. They could see the north end of Market Crescent from where they were, just across the main canal. Once they'd settled themselves in the kayak and started paddling cautiously across to avoid the dense traffic of water taxis, launches, freight barges and other craft, Sam said, "So, what's the plan?" "That story about the young man and the shepherd, I think there's a different way to look at it." They skirted a laden water bus. "There is?" "Imagine that the young man did in fact find a cave full of treasure. He draws a map to it on the kingstone so he will always remember where it is, but in such a way that no one else can read it. With you so far? A poor shepherd sees him up there with the map. He's heard rumours about the treasure. He tried to get the young man to explain the secret of the map, but he refuses. There's a struggle, and somehow the young man ends up falling off the cliff to his death. So the shepherd makes up the story about the young man being possessed by devils, to explain away the young man's death and to stop anyone else looking for the treasure. Then the shepherd spends the rest of his life looking for the treasure himself." "But he never found it," said Sam. An expensive-looking speedboat shot past them at close quarters, and if they hadn't been in the new linnet, Emily was convinced that the wash from it would have capsized them. She gestured rudely at the speedboat as it roared away. "Think about what the shepherd said on his deathbed," said Emily, "but not in relation to devils, in relation to treasure." She could see Sam repeating the phrase under his breath. Then his eyes widened in realization. "Stone eyes don't see the hidden hoard of kings," he said in excitement. "Stone eyes see the hidden hoard of kings." The King's Stone is a secret map to a hoard of buried treasure, said Sam, grinning broadly. We're going to be rich. Emily shook her head. No, we're not. Sam looked nonplussed. Why not? Because we're going to offer it to Cutthroat Susie. And that is the end of chapter 13. Good night.